Want me to start?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm Chrissy George. If I didn't meet any of you next time, I appreciate you guys all attending. So, in the PowerPoint, just like last time, we're going to have like this step by step. We'll send that out, and I just added the next series to that same PowerPoint. So I'll send you the updated version of it, and you guys can all have that. And I would help you anytime, if you guys ever want help trying to do this stuff, because it's one thing to like watch someone do it. Then when you get in there, because Canva is a little goofy about how it's set up. So to how it just kind of operates, and just because it's kind of robust, so and you can have like even if you don't have a Canva account, like a free account, you get a lot of capabilities with the free account. Same thing with ChatGPT. So you really don't have to, unless you're doing lots of stuff, you don't have to pay for it. So anyway, so today we're going to go over branded social media posts in minutes. And so we're going to learn how to quickly customize just listed open house and testimonial templates, save and reuse templates for consistency, and then we'll share a post in a reel. So we did some of that last time, so I'll just go through some of that quickly. So we can get into like doing a reel and that kind of stuff. So these are our training objectives, which is what I just talked about. Use ChatGPT to create and refine marketing copy quickly, customize Canva templates for just listed, open house, and testimonial posts, save and reuse branded templates for consistent social media posts, create short form video reels using Canva. And so, just also just say out loud to all of you, if you ever, like for the training, if you're like, hey, I'm doing this thing, you want, you could, use your example to like do one instead of always doing my stuff. So say that out loud again. Okay, so for our first step, good morning.
Morning.
You're fine. So for the first step, ChatGPT for marketing copy, we're gonna write headlines, captions, and priority descriptions in ChatGPT. I'm just gonna do some of these things just to kind of show you, what 30 minutes we have. And then, we'll do prompts with context, style, and format. So in this little training guide, here's an example. Write a friendly Lake Life themed Facebook caption for an open house this Sunday at 125 at Bernard Lane. Keep it under 2 sentences. So you can tell ChatGPT, like I kind of said last time, you can be very specific with it. And you can do it over multiple prompts. You can say, hey, give me a Facebook headline. That's what I do a lot of times. And then I'll be like, oh, that's for 1258 Bernard Lane. And I'll be like, oh, make it like, we're at Lake of the Ozarks. So make it, lake friendly or something like that. So I'm just going to copy this. Go into ChatGPT. I need you to stay out of my way. And it's good with ChatGPT to log in. So if like you have a Google account, you can automatically log in because then it remembers you and it'll learn like how your style basically. So it's helpful to log in. So I just copy and pasted what I put in the PowerPoint. So then ChatGPT comes back with this dock your boat or park your car and come toward this beautiful lakefront home at 125 at Bernard Lane this Sunday. Discover your perfect slice of the Lake of the Ozarks from 1 to 5 p.m. So I had an open house last Sunday. So I put a bunch of information in here, like putting my content together for the open house. So it remembers that I had said things about like you can come by land or water. So so that's like an example of the learning that it does. So then we'll just copy this and go back to this PowerPoint real quick, make sure I covered everything. Okay, so then we're gonna go to the next slide. So Canva customization. So now we're gonna go in and search a template. So I'm just gonna do the open house, but you'll see, I'll kind of walk you through this. Like you can search for any type of template, like Canva has any kind of template you're looking for. Like you want an agenda for a meeting or, meeting minutes or any of that stuff. And you can also use ChatGPT to do that. Like I have a small little, my background's technology. And in addition to this, I do some consulting. And so I had to put together meeting minutes for my board. And so I said, can you put together meeting minutes? It's to approve a bank account, for my board. These are my board members. And it put together a template for me. I said, download it from ChatGPT. You have to look at it all because sometimes ChatGPT will take its own
Yeah.
and make its own decisions. Yeah. Especially pictures, it gets a little goofy with.
Yes.
So anyway, it's a little bit about that. So we're going to go back to Canva. And so this thing is sort of like, let me move you. I don't know. The little window for Zoom gets in my way. So I'm just going to go into Canva. And this takes me to the home screen. And like the PowerPoint says, to the training guide says, so I'll search for open house template. And so you can see down here, there's all kinds of templates you can use. And so I'm for this demo purposes, I'm using this one. So comes up and you can see, Canva set up for any kind of marketing, print or digital or whatever. So it has this whole thing where, hey, they'll kind of, they have the service where you can print your stuff and they make money off of that. So that's why you see all that stuff on the right. And so if you like what that template looks like, you can look through these different views of it. You're like, yeah, that generally looks like the template I want to use. You can then you click customize this template. And so then it opens up this template. And so then, all these things are editable, like I showed you last time. You can go in and change, any of these things. And so, I just went and then so you can easily go in and just change all this copy to, you can keep this template just like it is and it's done, or you can, I'm going to show you how you can kind of customize it. So I am going to click on this text over here, and then you have a bunch of options and things that you can do. I'm just going to add a text box. So it automatically puts this tiny little text box in the middle of your thing, and you can use these things to make it bigger so you can see it. It's really tiny. So sometimes, like, depending on if you have like darker backgrounds and stuff, it'll be a little hidden. So you got to look for where it's at. So I'm just going to paste in the information that I copied from ChatGPT. And so I'm just going to stick that right there for the moment. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to move some things around. So I just, each of these like are a little widget, and you can just click them and move around. It takes a little getting used to on how you click it, because sometimes it'll like resize it or whatever. So I'm just going to make that smaller. And you can resize these things so it fits within your window. You could like make it bold, you can do some different things. So this is, just demo purposes. So that kind of shows you how you can customize it. So let's go back to this template. Search, place text. So I did that. Okay, so then let's upload a property, the image. So then over here you have uploads, and you can upload files like from your computer. So if you have like listing photos or whatever, you can go browse through your computer and find those and add them into Canva so they can be available. So I just re-uploaded this little image, my for sale image, so it's back in there a second time. So this has, this stock images that were in the template that are in that template that we're modifying right now. So I can take this image over here that's in my uploads that I already uploaded of my house, and I click it and it moves it over here automatically. So if you it must not have this set up. Some of the templates, it has like a placeholder for the picture. So what you can do with this is you can just resize it around the space that you have. So they all work kind of differently. Some of them, they just snap it in there to where you don't have to do that, and sometimes it's easier to do it this way because then you have a little more free form to bring your pictures in and out. So that just gives you an idea how how to customize a template. And I showed you how to adjust size text and all that kind of stuff. So then we'll go to the next step, step 3, save and reuse your template. So get this guy out of the way. Thanks. So then now knowing like, okay, you have this, it saves it, as you're doing it. So it's like randomly in your Canva account, but it will be helpful for you to be organized about it. So if you go over here okay, so first of all, this is the template name, Cream Minimalist Open Flyer Banner. So you can come in here and you can just update that, open house, banner link. Or if you want to be like open house template, because you might, use this over and over again, for all of your open houses. So you can just do that and it automatically saves it. And so it's still like in your Canva. So if you like, when you go into Canva, you're at this homepage, and it always has like your recent designs over here. And when you go and you search like I did earlier for that template and I open up a template, it creates a new window that you're working in. So you'll have like these multiple windows in Canva. It gets a little confusing, but the first one's always like your homepage where you can kind of like go back and find things again. So just giving you that bearings. So when you create your template, you're like, I want to save this, I want to use this again. You can share this. You click on the share. So that gives you a bunch of options. So you can like email it to someone else that's in Canva if you wanted to by using this people and share option. But we won't go too much into that. And then it gives you, you can assign access and all that. We're not going to get into all those complexities. But if you click that little bar that had the three dots, it gives you more options. So I want to move this to a folder. So I move it to my folder. I click that move to a folder, and then I have set up folders on my account, and I'll show you how to do that after I do this. And so I have a folder for Reels, I have a folder for Just Listed, I have a folder for Open House, and I have a folder for price adjustment. So I can click Open House, and then the name I gave it, Open House template, I can say move to folder. So now what I just did here, this new version of it, is now in my Open House folder. So I'll go back to Canva Home, and I will, if you go to, it's like, figuring how to navigate, that's the key to Canva. If you go to projects, you get a bunch of different options. And so you have like your recent designs. So anything that you've touched, kind of be up here. And then here are my folders. So, I can navigate to that open house folder and find that template, which I'll show you in a second. But you can also, so I had to like create these folders. So how you create those folders is you can click add new, and you can say folder, and you can do like price adjustment, and then continue. And so price adjustment folder was created. And so now you'll see I got another folder down here. So just to navigate to that template we just created, I'm going to go to the open house. And I got a couple of templates in here. And this is one inch, I called it open house. So that's the template open house. So you can come in here and be like, okay, that's my template. I'm just going to customize it for my new property. You can just update your address and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's organized into folders. I showed you how the folders work, update text and images for future posts. Okay, so we'll go to the next step. So now I'm going to go into creating a reel. So, okay, so we're going to do so far okay, so that's editing an open house. So that all makes sense.
Yes.
Any questions on it? I'm going through it fast, and whatever time we have left, I can like go do some, you guys can ask me questions and I can show you additional things, but I want to at least make sure I get through the content. I know like last time somebody asked about like doing a reel. So that's,
Yep.
and there's a lot of ways you can do reels. Like sometimes when you create, like if you create a story in Facebook, it'll say, hey, do you want to make a reel out of this? So you can do that, and it'll just like take your image and like, make it look like a video basically. But you can, create reels, in Canva, and it's pretty easy to do. So if you and I hadn't done a lot with like just creating reels. So I did it myself yesterday. It went fine. So I'm gonna go back to Canva, start all over, and I'm gonna search for a reel template. So search for reel. And so these are all real templates, and so just so everybody's clear, like in Facebook and I think Instagram, you can create reels, which is basically a short video of, whatever thing you're wanting to put out there. In our case, it would be, our listings, or, I want to, like I'm doing another open house on Friday for my house. And so I created a post yesterday, and I created the whole post, and it's like, do you want to make this an event? And I was like, okay, let's make it an event. So I created this event and I shared it. And so every day I'm going to do something different. So like yesterday was the event. Today I'm going to do just a post of this is the stuff, and I'm going to share it to like all the Lake Ozark, groups and on my page and stuff like that, so people can see it. And then, like tomorrow I'll do a reel, so I'll do something like every day, to market, that activity to all, to my page where I have followers, and then to all the, Facebook groups that I'm sure we're all familiar with, all the madness that goes on there. So when you're looking at the templates that come up, you want to look for something that looks in the format that you like, and would, kind of expose what you're trying to do. So when I was looking for this yesterday, I was like, well, I want to, I shared like a couple pictures on the post that I did. And I'm like, I'd like to share some more pictures, some different pictures, in the reel. So you would want to look at something that, has like, you know, has multiple pictures that they're showing. Like this has, this one looks good where it's got the four, and then it's, kind of goes through different images and animations that it's doing. Whereas this one's just like one standing video. This is kind of cool with, where it's like scrolling through, so you can go in and find, the one that you like. So we'll do this one. And so same kind of thing, you kind of look at it, you can get some different views of what it looks like. And, if you're like, I don't like that one, you can kind of go back here and, look at others and see, what they look like and get a feel for it. So we'll work with this one here. So same as you did before, customize this template. And how like all these templates get generated is that the whole Canva community, if they create something that they think is kind of cool and they're like, I'm gonna make a template out of it. So they put it out in Canva, it goes through like a review, and then it becomes public use. That's why there's so many templates out there, which is what is so great about it. It's this big community, collection. So up here is your reel, and what will actually display, when you post it somewhere. So if we just play this, it's got, audio to it. It's got all these different pictures and things. So it's 10 seconds long, and then it kind of stops with some copy and a picture. So down in here, let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, okay. It's only zooming the upper portion, but so down in this section, there's, all these different, images. And this is just like this bar here sets the timing, beginning to end kind of thing. You always wanted to start at the beginning. So let's see if I can figure out how to customize this. It's a little different than the one I did yesterday. So we'll go to the uploads, and, like I could put this image here. And I can resize it and see, it just depends on, you have to work with like the different formats of the pictures. So that's like an awkward size, so if I take like this one right here, that's a more normal picture. So I can resize that to fit in there so you can see that. And then let's see if I click here. I'm not exactly sure how this. Okay, there you go. So you click down below to get, into these different images. And then you click in here, then you click up top to put in, your different photos. So you see how I took my photo from over and it just automatically resized. So it has a certain um, element in there that is allowing it to like basically snap to that size. So I'm just going to take where it's not doing it over here. And that's what like you're doing with other people's content. So, they're not necessarily like completely professional, but it also creates like flexibility with them too. So let's throw some images in here quick. So this is all text, so you can, is it open house 1258 Nard Lane, Osage Beach. We're not in here. These little grabbers on the side, and you can resize stuff and just kind of play around with it. Um, like, I'm just clicking on all these. There's lots of different images down here. And you can just kind of resize these things so you can see that. Okay, so that was the bottom half of that. So okay, so you kind of get the idea. So I'm like, okay, I think I edited everything. I'm gonna move this little picture to the beginning and replay it. So cute little. So then I'm gonna go to share, and then I'm gonna click on the three dots over here for the see all, and then I'm gonna move to folder. And I'm gonna find a Reels folder, and I'm gonna say move to folder. So now I have that to use and edit going forward. So now I'll show you how to put that into Facebook. So go to facebook.com. On my way. And so I'm on my business page for C. George Realty, and I want to create a reel. So I come right here, I go to reel, and then play very recently. Okay, so I go to, oh wait, I gotta do one more step. So this is another reel I created just for time purposes. So if you go, so you have to make that reel available so that you can then upload it on your computer. So if you also go to share and you go to download, and so there's a time limit of what a reel can be. It's only like shorter video. So you can't like you might like for my listing, I have like a video preview of the whole property and it's like 2 minutes. That's too long. So they have to be, I think it's under a minute they have to be. So you go to, make sure the file type is MP4 video. It defaults to what's suggested, and that's typically the right one, and then I click download. And so you see down here, the progress bar, it's downloading it slowly because it's a lot of data with videos. So you need good bandwidth.
Have you guys worked with Canva before?
Mhm.
Okay. Have you? No.
I haven't, but I'm new to this.
It's good. It's all right. It's good.
Okay, so it pops up here. Whenever you download something on your computer, it goes to that downloads folder. So I always move it, on my computer so I can find it somewhere organized, but it's always there. So the purposes of this. So we're going to add video. And it opens up, my dialog box. So I just go over here and go to downloads. And then I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna go to details, look for like the most recent one. That's that one. So then there's my, open house preview. This is the one I created yesterday, so this is safe to post. So I don't know why it's showing that one as the most recent one, but maybe it's still getting out there. So I did all this stuff. So it just kind of shows you a preview of your reel. Make sure this is the right thing, like you're not uploading some personal picture or something like that. So then you click next. And so over here you can describe your reel. So in this displays in the copy, like on Facebook, open house. So I'll just put like some of this information. Bernard Lane, Osage Beach. Friday, August 15th. 3, 7. Yep. So then you tell it here, do you want this to be, if you see on that navigation on the left, do you want this to be public or, who do you want to see this? Typically we want our stuff to be public. Enabling remixing, allow others to create reels that play your video with theirs. Yeah, please market my stuff. So you can tag people in it. So I'm gonna tag my personal page and my husband because he is the property owner as well. And it'll be on my See George page, so you can see it done there. So that's kind of how you tag people. You can boost the reel, which that costs money. You can invite collaborators. I don't do too much with that. You can add a product link. So if you have like a link to your MLS, like you could put it in there. I don't know that there's a lot of value with reels because people are looking at them. They're not like going in there like, oh, I want to go find that thing. Hopefully you have enough information so they go find you. But you can do that. And so then you just kind of answer all those prompts on the side and then you click publish. And then post it. Just thinking about it. It says, your reel is being processed. We'll let you know when it's ready to view. So then there pops it up and you can kind of see what it looks like. Because you can go into any of these and edit them even after you post it. You're like, oh, I misspelled something or I don't want to say that or whatever. You can go in and edit them. I think it's with reels, I think you can only delete or I don't think you can edit it.
Edit it. I don't think you can.
Yeah. So here's the reel here, and you can see like the open house information is displaying down here. That text that I input, it's displaying down here. And so you have to be conscious of this because sometimes depending on the content that you have, it might like be writing over words or things that you have. So you want to, be cautious of that. So you can just click play and it plays it again. So that is how you create a reel right on time.
I see it on your Facebook page.
Here it is.
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook and
Just did.
see stuff that I'm doing there. And so that's how, let's go back to our search reels, add ChatGPT copy. And you can use ChatGPT just like I did before to like create your captions and things like that. I do that a lot and then just edit it to, put my flavor on it. Always recommend that. And then just some like final tips and, and Q&A if you guys have time. So keep captions short for mobile reading, use high quality, well-lit photos, maintain consistent tone and branding, batch create posts to save time. So there's a way you can in Canva, like if you're, I could show you guys how to do some one of the training sessions. You can like generate a bunch of posts. Like if you want to put out like a bunch of like, um, nice to say things, you can like use it like an Excel spreadsheet and do like one for every day of the year, one for one a month, and you can schedule them, out of Canva. So I could show you how to do some of that stuff too. So for our next session, we're going to design a personal real estate brand kit if that's important to you. So in Canva, you can like take your logos, take your colors, like for your brokerage. You can, you can put all this stuff into your brand kit so that you can then use it and then apply it to all your templates. So it's all stored in this one place. So that's what we were planning for the next session. But if you guys, any things that you guys want to cover, and like I said, anybody wants, like you're learning Canva for the first time, if you want me to walk you through it, you can just send me an email. I'd be happy to help you with it.
Okay, great. That'd be awesome. Thanks.
So yeah, we'll do this personal brand kit next time. So set up your logos, colors, fonts, and photos so that we can apply those across your Canva templates.
Great. Okay.